pretty quiet practice today, more of a yin style. So find a quiet spot, any props you might need. And we're going to start at a wall. So see if you can bring yourself to a wall. And we'll get started in just a few minutes. Get your mat close to the wall. Just the short end really is all you need, but any of it is fine. And we'll give it a couple of minutes as people in, but in the meantime, make yourself cozy for the wall. We're going to start with our legs up the wall, and any props you might need just to make yourself comfortable today. Most of our practice will be on the floor. All right, guys. So let's start with, I find it easier to sit with one hip right up against the wall and then swing the legs up. And you're pretty close, but you often have to wiggle yourself all the way in. And you can have the knees bent slightly. Palms on the belly or arms out to your sides, palms face up. And just start to so you're coming onto the mat physically as well as mentally. Take some deep breaths. Legs at the wall posture is good for anxiety, stress inducing, make you anxious. It's good for headaches or cramps. So you can use this time, which is so simple. And take a few more breaths here. And start to bend both knees, walking the feet down the wall, bringing the knees close to the chest. Notice how with your feet on the wall, you can get your knees quite close to the belly. And then you're going to start to walk the feet over to the right down the wall. And the right ankle is going to come onto your mat. The left ankle will stack on top. I like to put my right hand on my left knee. And then gaze turns to the left arm also. So you're just in a simple supine twist, but you've got some groundedness here with both the soles of the feet on the wall, fully supported by the floor and the mat and the wall. What would be nice too if you had to put a weighted bag on the top of that left knee to help press the left knee down. That would also be really nice here. Twists are always good for releasing of tension as well as releasing any toxins from the body. Yin is a practice because it's so quiet that you can often get caught up in your thoughts. So try to bring your awareness back to the physical body because the way your body feels physically right in this moment brings you back into the present time. Start to walk the feet back to center. Hips are close to the mat again. And then this time you're just going to bring the soles of the feet together. You're essentially coming into that Baddha Konasana or cobbler's pose. The blade edges of your feet are on the wall, soles are together. You can even bring the hands to the knees to help press the knees a little closer to the wall. This can be a little bit more accessible for some people because you've got that wall to help support. I like using the wall in practice sometimes. It really brings a sense of groundedness and support that definitely we all need at this time of the year when we're so busy. You might start to notice the groins and the hips opening a little bit here. We'll give it a few more breaths. Bring the hands underneath the thighs to bring the knees together. And again, we'll walk the feet along the left, or towards the left rather. Bringing the left ankle onto the mat, stacking right ankle on top of the left, soles of the feet on the wall, and right arm and gaze to the right. Supine twist, supported by the wall, supported by the mat. Let's take a couple more deep breaths here. And on your inhale, we'll start to walk back to center, bringing the sacrum back to the mat. Again, hips close to the wall, and then start to separate the feet. The knees are bent, feet are on the wall. So you're in basically a supported malasana or squat pose here. So knees are going to point towards the top of your mat or towards your nose. And the feet are flat on the wall. Take some deep breaths. Let's find 2 more breaths here in this Malasana. When you're ready, start to roll to one side. And then make your way onto a tabletop position on your mat. You might have to move that mat a little further away from the wall so you have a little more space. And again, we'll come into tabletop. We'll start a few cat-cows here, loosening up the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, curl the spine, tuck chin to chest. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Lift the sit bones high. Exhale, curling in. Add additional movement as you see fit here. Good. Find one more inhale. And a final exhale. And come back to that neutral spine. Keep the knees about hip width apart and then start to walk the hands towards the top of your mat. Leave the hips high and melt the heart down, bringing either the chin or forehead onto the mat. Stretching out the upper back, the armpits, the shoulders. Heart melting pose, Anahatanasana. Take 2 more breaths here. Bring the palms underneath the shoulders, lifting those hips back to tabletop. And let's bring the right foot forward between the hands. You could stay here, or you could heel toe that foot out to the right, letting the right knee wing out. If you need a little bit more on that hip, you can just stay here on the hands or drop to the elbows. Either way, just go ahead and let your chin drop into your chest so you can take the neck out of the pose. And this can get pretty intense on that right hip, so definitely breathe into any intensity, any place that you feel discomfort. Send your prana, your energy, your breath there. Start to press into the palms. Bring that right knee back. If you let it go out to the side, heel to that foot back to center. And you're going to sit to the inside of the left heel, pulling the right toes towards your nose for half hero pose, half Ferasana. So the left heel, again, is outside the left glute, right foot flexed. You can stay here with a vertical spine. If you need a bit more, you can definitely drop onto the hands or the elbows, either keeping the chin tucked into your chest or letting the head drop back. Make sure you can keep the left knee on the mat. That will help protect that knee. So don't go too far that left knee lifts up. And I'm not feeling like going back too far today. So each day could be a little different for you as well. Remember to send any energy to any places you feel discomfort. And just start to notice how that discomfort starts to dissipate. It may not go away completely, but you're not focused on it fully. Start to come back to a vertical spine if you have reached back. And then bring the sole of the right foot to the mat. You're coming up onto the left knee. Bring the right knee back to meet the left. And let's tuck the toes, lift the hips, find downward facing dog. behind you. Turning the sit bones towards the sky like you're reaching up to that spot where the wall and the ceiling meet. Press the hands mat. Press the heart towards the thighs. Come forward onto the toes. Just bend those knees quite a bit, hovering just above the mat. And exhale, press the hips back once again. Hover the knees just above the mat. You're bending your toes. You got it. Exhale, press it back. And this time, go ahead and drop the knees down onto the mat. Bring the left foot forward between. Again, you can you could stay here. Or heel toe that foot out towards the left edge of the mat and let the left knee wing out if you like. Stay on the hands or dropping to your elbows. Totally your choice. Send energy and prana anywhere you feel discomfort. All right, bring that left knee back to midline. Heel toe the foot back. Come back towards the right heel, sitting to the inside of that right heel. Left toes turning toward your nose. Half Ferasana. Again, make sure that right knee can stay on the mat. But your choice. You can drop onto the hands or elbows. Keeping chin tucked into your chest or drop the head back. Stretching out that right quad, right hip flexor. All right, guys, come back to a vertical spine. Bring the sole of the left foot to the floor. Come on to that right knee. Bring the left knee back to meet the right. And again, let's tuck the toes, lift the hips, find that downward facing dog. Let the hips reach up and back, pressing the hands deeply into the mat. Heart presses towards the thighs. Hover the knees right above the mat. Deeply bend those toes, stretching out the toe necks. Exhale, so lift the hips. Down dog. Again, hovering those knees just above the mat. Exhale, press them back. And then drop the knees onto the mat. Bring the left leg parallel to the top of the mat. So you're really expressing that leg. It's going to go straight across the mat if you can get it there. You're going to bring the right knee down and bring the right heel towards your right glute. You're going to be here with a vertical spine. The right hip may or may not be on the mat for this one. Mine doesn't quite reach. Depends on your flexibility. You've got the inside of the left thigh is facing the ceiling. The inside of the right thigh is facing down onto the mat for the steer posture. Take some deep breaths. All right, guys, bring weight into the left hip and swing the right leg around. So you're going to attempt to stack the right ankle on top of the left knee and the right knee on top of the left ankle. So, and you're going to flex both feet to help protect the knees. You're going to feel that in the outer right hip here. If you need to fold forward to get a little bit more in sensation in that right hip, you're welcome to do so. Blink the eyes open. You're going to start to squeeze the knees together. So instead of the knees and ankles being stacked, you're going to have the knees stacked ish on top of one another. Oftentimes that right knee is going to lift up and you're going to look more like this. If you're home, you have some props available. You can bring a bolster or blog or blanket between the knees for a little more comfort. And then bring the left arm back behind you, or excuse me, out to the left. And you're going to bring the palm face back and then swing that left hand between the shoulder blades. Reach the right arm up and overhead. And then bend the right elbow to reach down for the left fingertips. You may or may not reach the left fingertips. That's irrelevant. It doesn't really matter. Either way, make sure your neck is not all kinked up. Oftentimes that elbow kind of shoves our head down. We don't want that. If you want a little bit more sensation, you can fold forward over the thighs, but do be aware that that will bring some more intensity to both the shoulders and the hips. Beautiful. Release the arms. Let's lean back on the sit bones. You're going to bring the knees together. Find a Navasana boat pose here. You can have the hands on the floor to help support you underneath the thighs or arms outstretched. Totally your choice. Couple breaths. And then cross the ankles, plant the hands, find tabletop position. And this time we're going to bring the right leg parallel to the top of the mat. Start to come onto the right thigh as you bring the left heel close to your glute. Come back to a vertical spine. Do your posture on this side here. Breathing into any space you find discomfort. The inside of the left thigh now facing the mat. Inside of the right thigh facing the ceiling. All right, guys, start to lean into that right hip. Swing that left leg around. Again, we're attempting to stack the left ankle on top of the right knee on top of the left ankle. Keep both feet flexed to help protect the knees. And again, if you need to fold forward to bring a little bit more sensation to that outer left hip, you're welcome to do so. But this vertical spine definitely could be enough for you. Focus on your breath and this quiet space. Trying not to get lost in any to-do lists or anything else going on in your life. Just this next breath. All right, guys, start to squeeze those knees together. Again, attempting to stack left knee on top of the right knee. And again, if that left knee is lifted up, you can bring something between those, a little bit more comfort. And then bring the right arm out to the right, palm face back. It swims between the shoulder blades. So the right elbow's pointing down at the mat. And the left arm reaches up. Bend that left elbow, reach for those right fingertips. May or may not reach. You can grab your shirt, something else. But unkink the neck. Make sure there's not a big kink in the neck so it can be comfortable. All right, guys, release the arms. Lean back on those sit bones again, pulling the knees together, finding that Navasana boat pose, your options. And then let's cross the ankles, come back to vertical spine. Bring the left hand to the right knee. Bring the right hand behind you. It operates like a second spine to help prop you up even a little taller. Crown of the head is going to reach towards the ceiling. The sit bones press down into the floor. Turn the belly button towards the right. Then the rib cage. Then the shoulders. And then finally turn the head to look over the right shoulder. On your inhale, come back to center and start to fold over the legs, letting the chin drop to the chest. You can rest the hands on the mat or the elbows on the mat. Come back to vertical spine. Notice which ankle is in front and extend the legs long. Find the sit bones directly on the mat, moving any flesh out of the way. Reach the fingertips towards the sky. And then exhale, leading with the heart. Fold forward, dropping the hands wherever they land. Keeping the spine long here. On your exhale, let the spine curl, let your chin tuck into your chest. Maybe the crown of the head drops a little closer to the legs. And then this is called caterpillar pose. And I do kind of feel like you're sort of in this cocoon that you've built for yourself. It's kind of nice. On your inhale, come back to vertical. Cross the ankles with the opposite leg in front. It's going to feel like the wrong one if you forgot. Bring the right hand to the left knee. The left hand reaches behind you. Sit up tall. Turn the belly button towards the left, the rib cage, the shoulders, and then finally the head. That right elbow might bend to help pull you a little deeper. On your inhale, come back to center, folding forward over the legs, chin drop to your chest. Walk yourself back to a vertical spine. Take a look around you and find something that you could use as to help you in a supported bridge. So that might be a bolster or a block, maybe a couch cushion or a pillow, anything that you can slide under the hips and then bring weight back on top of. Come onto our backs and you'll have that thing close. Hips, and then you're going to bring them to the sacrum, bring that prop right underneath your sacrum, so that immobile part of your hips, you'll know when it's in the right spot. It's going to be comfortable or fairly comfortable. Shouldn't dig in or pinch anything. And then you can stay here with your feet resting on the mat, maybe the palms on the belly or palms up at your sides. You could also lengthen the legs along the mat if that's what you choose to do. But make sure you're, again, on the sacrum so it's pretty comfortable here. Let's take a couple more breaths. If the legs are extended, you'll bring the soles of the feet back to the mat. Start to lift the hips off of your prop, remove it from under you, and then settle the hips back down. Bring the feet wide, let the knees knock together. Heel toe the feet back underneath the knees. Bring the knees into your chest. Find a gentle rock from side to side. Keep the right knee, extend the left leg. Cross the right knee over the body and reach the right arm and gaze to the right. On your inhale, come back to center. Squeeze both knees in once again. Maybe rock from side to side. Keep the left knee, extend the right. Crossing left knee over the body. Take a look over the left shoulder. Inhale, come to center. Pull both knees in. Bring your nose towards your knees toward your nose. Come into a little teeny tiny ball. Notice how the belly presses into the thighs. And when you're ready, exhale, release, get big, let everything go. Tuck the shoulder blades beneath the heart. Notice any tension left in the body. Check the jaw between the eyebrows. Consciously release. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Let go of any tension held in the belly. Let your belly go soft. And sink deeper and deeper into your mat. Yogis, I'm going to leave you here in your Shavasana. Please stay as long as you'd like. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.